Chris Young from Older Muscles here with another backyard gardening video. I have all of my hazelnut shells in place and got my greenhouse put up. So next on my to-do list is to make another one of these garden beds. There's these two garden beds and I've shown them before on this channel. These ones are in my backyard. I'm going to make one in my front yard. Figured I'd show folks how I do it. It's a really simple design. You basically have 7 pieces of lumber. One of them is a 4-inch by 4-inch by 8-foot tall piece of wood that I cut into 4 equal parts, and then use a total of 6 of these boards. They're 1 inch thick, 12 inches wide, and 8 feet long. And as you can see on this garden bed here, 2 of them I just keep unchopped, and that makes the 8 foot long. And then on both sides I take 2 of these boards and chop them in half, and so that's going to create a bed that is 4 feet wide, 8 feet long, and about 2 feet high. Pivot over here. You can see this one is just a squared version of that. Rather than keeping it 8 feet long, I do it 4 feet long. And as I had said in a previous video, this garden bed, as you can tell from some of the wear and tear and age on it, this one was here when we moved in 2018, so I just copied the design. Very simple, very straightforward, and it creates a huge garden bed. To be fair, not that many plants need 2 feet of soil, but some do. Most veggie plants take advantage of like 6 inches of topsoil, but some of them grow pretty deep. I grow some pretty monstrous tomato plants back here, and those root bases can get huge, and that's why my tomato plants get huge, at least partially why. So with no further ado, I'm going to get to chopping and go from there. Got my boards all prepared. I got the taller ones, I got the halflings, and I got the posts. So I figured I would take a moment to show folks the area where these are going to go. But before I do that, for really no reason other than its radness, show off my cassette tape player. Recently got some cassette tapes, including Def Leppard, which is going to help me get inspired to put this all together. This is the area where I'm putting it. I'm part of that movement where I killed off my front yard grass. I'm going to make something that's more pollinator friendly, and a lazy and effective way to do that. And then you can go and dig up all your grass, and heaven forbid you spray it with chemicals. But a natural way to do it and to really enhance the soil underneath is just take leaves. Cover your whole area with leaves. It does not look the best during the fall and the winter. Maybe I'll kick some of this out of the way. It really helps kill off all the grass. And underneath is some lush action. You can see that worm down there. That worm's living its best life underneath there. And so I'm going to construct this garden bed. I'm going to put it in this area and then take all these leaves and put it in there before I put in the soil. I guess while I'm out here, I can give you a dime tour of a couple other things out here. One of my beds in the front yard for vegetables and such. This is the second one. And then we also have 4 of these out front that have wildflowers in them, which combined with these lavender bushes give our pollinator friends some things to hang out in, source their nectar from. That lavender plant's not doing too hot. We'll give it a shot before maybe replacing it. This area right here is where the big garden bed's going to go. Those other 2 garden beds that I showed you are the half-size ones. They're 4 feet by 4 feet and then 2 feet tall. Figured it's time to put in a bigger one out here. Now here we are with the finished product. As described, got these posts and just nailed it all together. One thing I did on my front beds that I didn't do on my back beds is left a little bit of a nub right here, because you can get like these solar caps well, I should say solar lights that will cap these posts. It's also worth noting that I haven't done that on the beds that I also left nubs on, but one thing at a time. I'll get there eventually. So all that's left to do now is fill it up. You can already see that I've just been tossing stuff in there. This post right here is higher up, and then it slopes down in each direction, and so there's going to be gaps along the base of the garden bed. You can see what I'm doing over here, kind of building a dirt dam, if you will, around all those cracks, because then what I'm going to do is take all these leaves that I use to kill off my front yard grass. Toss them all in here. Got a log in there. Just kind of basically any kind of yard debris that I could find, kitchen scraps. Once I get that all rounded up and tossed in here, then I'm going to put I'm going to put the rest of my garden soil that's sitting in my driveway, top it off in here. Because I'm putting leaves and other stuff, it's going to settle. I try to keep it as level as possible, but inevitably it may shift a little bit. A lot of people will create garden spaces with the primary goal being that it's aesthetically pleasing, and then secondary, they make it being functional. I'm the opposite. I want my garden beds to be functional. I want them to be thriving, living ecosystems first, aesthetically pleasing second. One thing to note about this garden bed design, while I used these boards, like I said, are 1 inch thick, 12 inches tall, and 8 feet long, you don't have to use those dimensions. You can use whatever dimensions that you could find. Maybe you have different material readily available to you. You just don't like this design, look, size, whatever. The main thing is that you have 4 posts and 4 walls. You get it done however you got to get it done. Thanks for following along, and I got a lot of wheelbarrowing ahead of me. Happy gardening, my friends.